What's going on, everybody? So we're back for another tier list, and this time we're doing Pixar, as much requested by chat. This one in particular was requested by Plush Experience and Ryan Wilkins, both of which are both members of the channel. So if you guys would also like to see tons of things requested, come on, join the streams. We have a lot of fun in here. But guys, we have the Pixar tier list up here, and there's a couple of these I haven't seen, and I'll go ahead and knock those out of the way. It's not a lot. So I haven't seen Brave. I haven't seen Monsters University. I haven't seen Inside Out. I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur. I haven't seen Finding Dory. I haven't seen Cars 3. I haven't seen Incredibles 2. I haven't seen Onward. I haven't seen Soul. I haven't seen Luca. I haven't seen Turning Red. Alright, maybe it's a lot more I haven't seen. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Haha! There's more that I've seen than what I haven't seen. Okay, and that's all that matters to me. So, now, let's go ahead and let's start the tier list. That was pretty easy to kind of knock out which ones I hadn't seen. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of stuff. You haven't seen Inside Out? I know. Inside Out 2 just came out. Highest grossing movie out there right now, or whatever the case is. This is going to be hard because most Pixar movies fall in S tier. They're very good movies. So this is going to be one of the few that is strictly personal bias of what I thought. Ratatouille. So this is going to have to be a tier of like Pixar level because again, any of these movies, Pixar is legendary. Any of them should fall in an S tier of a lot of movies, right? But because this is a Pixar tier and we're dealing within the parameters of Pixar itself, I'm going to have to use the space that's given to me. So even if something falls in like a C or D tier, that doesn't mean it is a C or D tier movie. It's just as far as the Pixar scale is concerned. So I'm going to let Ratatouille rest there for now. Ratatouille I didn't really resonate with too much. I got to be honest, out of all the Pixar movies, first of all, I think I've only seen Ratatouille like twice. And right now, if you asked me what happens in Ratatouille, I don't really remember. I remember the characters very well. I remember the human has like a lot of his human problems. But I don't remember. I just don't remember it. It's semi-forgettable. But I also remember it being fairly good, right? Up. Up is a really good movie. Up is a really, really good movie. Up is a very... Because here's the thing. Up is a really, really good movie. And I cried during this movie at multiple times. But here's where I have to ask myself the question. Do I let the film pulling at my heartstrings influence my decision? Do I? I don't know. It's a really good movie. The big thing about Up is, and here's the thing, Up I've only seen once. I remember almost everything that happens in Up. It's very memorable. The thing about Up is it really, at any stage of your life, it shows you that life is fleeting. Life is, old age, potential death is futile. It's going to happen. Happens to everybody, right? And you really get to kind of see that perspective firsthand in the movie. And at any age, it kind of tugs on your heartstrings. So I'm going to put it in S. I don't want to keep talking too much about every movie, or else we'll be here all day. But good movie. Finding Nemo. Great. I don't think... Here's the thing. The movies I put in S, that's considered like... This was revolutionary. Finding Nemo was very, very good. One of the best Pixar films, I think. Really, really great journey film. But aside from it being a great movie, it didn't really do too much, in my opinion. Like it's just a great movie, and there's nothing wrong with just being a great movie. But I think Up just made you feel a lot more things, in my opinion. Okay. Monsters, Inc. Very similar case to Finding Nemo. Just a really good movie. It does teach you things. It does pull at your heartstrings. It does introduce really, really great characters. In fact, I would probably put Monsters, Inc. slightly above Finding Nemo. But again, I don't think it crosses that barrier, right? I don't think it quite crosses that border of being, an S tier level film. Now, with that being said, no. I think Incredibles kind of does. Because I think Incredibles does something similar to Up, where it's about time, moving forward, fleeting, about trying to do things you did, in your youth, but now you're older, right? That's a lot of The Incredibles. Except now, you're seeing someone who was this great being, was this great person, was this great hero, and now they're a family. Can they still be this great hero? Can they still do these cool and great and amazing things? Of course they can, right? Overall, fantastic film. I think I'm comfortable with it there. Really great superhero film too. I know a lot of people, trash superheroes, but I think that that's a great superhero film. Okay, WALL-E. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one. I don't remember much from WALL-E when I saw it the first time. I just don't. I don't remember. I don't, and when I saw it for the first time, I remember everybody overhyping it and hyping it out, but I don't remember much about it. I don't remember much about it, and when I saw it for the first time, I don't remember liking it that much. It's definitely worthy of a rewatch for sure, because I know everyone talks about the movie, but for now, I don't remember it blowing my socks off when I saw it the first time. This is an undisputable top spot for me. Toy Story is a timeless tale about the relationship, the inner psychologic relationship between a child and an inanimate object. That's literally what Toy Story is about. And I know that you'll never see a description that describes it that way. You'll never probably hear that description from anybody else before, again. But that is basically what Toy Story is about, and that's what makes it such a great film. Because nobody cares or even remotely talks about the small intricacies of a child's psychologic mind. And what every interaction and what every moment and tiny thing, even if it's an inanimate object, what that means and what that does to the state of mind of a child. And Toy Story did a wonderful job at explaining that. Now, Toy Story 2. Great film. Great film. And again, I could get a lot of hate for this. Wasn't my favorite. At least out of the Toy Stories. And wasn't really, it really is not one of my favorite Pixar films. I love it. It's a great movie. I don't know, it's so weird to me. I can't even trying to think critically about Toy Story 2. Even trying to think like, man, this movie, what was it? What did I not like about it as much as Toy Story? It's so hard for me. I don't know. Because there's so much I love about Toy Story 2. Like the whole Buzz Lightyear sequence at the beginning, like like that is so iconic. The whole video game aspect. I thought that was awesome. Like Rex playing a video game, and it's the Buzz Lightyear versus Zurg. Oh, that's cool. You know, Al's Toy Barn is such a huge. It's a hilarious meme, like Wayne Knight in the role as the toy store mascot guy, who's also a scummy 30-year-old who steals people's toys and sells them on the internet. You know, and it created wonderful memes, that movie. All the way to work on a Saturday. All the way to work. And he drives right across the street. You know, like, it's a phenomenal film. I don't know why it's my least favorite Toy Story. It's one of these films where I'm going to put it in A and not in S. And I can't say why. It's an indescribable feeling. There's so much to Toy Story 2 that I should really, really love. You know, like with Jessie and the story with the prospector and Woody going through this huge character development moment of you know, Andy's getting older. Andy might not need me anymore. I should stay here, and having to realize that he was wrong. And not just realizing it, owning up to it, and telling the people that he was originally on their side, telling them, no, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I screwed up. I made the wrong decision. I don't want to do this anymore. And for him to walk away and leave. That's a huge life lesson for a lot of people. It's because so many people forget that, well, if I already started, I guess I got to finish. No, you can pull out. You can say no. You can stop talking, or you can stop that at any moment, you know? But I don't know. Toy Story 2 for me, high A. I have no problems with it. It's just my brain. I don't know. It's just a personal. I don't know why. It's just my least favorite of them. Toy Story 3. This is the video. This is the video. Is this right here? This is the video. Which is it? This is the video. So here's the thing. I think it's this, so Toy Story 1 was that ideology that I explained earlier at its most simplistic level, while at the same time having a lot of expanded areas around it, right? Toy Story 3 is not really about... It doesn't really feature many humans. You see Andy and them in the beginning, right? But Andy's moving on to college. So, while Toy Story 1 was more of a connection between a young child and the child's toy, Toy Story 3 is more about what the toys would do for their owner. And Toy Story 3 is more of like a loyalty, always standing by somebody's side, never giving up type story that's just different from the first one. But I think that Toy Story 3, again, you guys saw me, it's almost the best Pixar film. It's so good. Everything about it is amazing. Every character moment is amazing. And Toy Story 3 took liberties, right? They did some things that some people have pointed, and we'll get into that. Trust me, we'll get into that. But some people have pointed out with Toy Story 4 that Toy Story 3 also included, right? But I loved the way Toy Story 3 did some of those things. Like, for example, Buzz's Spanish mode. I thought was hilarious. And what a smart idea to take a character, completely revitalize him, and in a new, fun, exciting, and hilarious way. That was awesome, right? I love Toy Story 3. Lotso is a fantastic villain. Again, I could do this tier list in 6 months and put Toy Story 3 at number 1. It's a toss-up. It really, really is. And here we go. Toy Story 4. Because here's the thing. It's better than Ratatouille because at the very least I remember what happens in Toy Story 4. I might not like why I remember them, but I do remember. Do I think it's better than WALL-E? No, I'm comfortable with it here. I really am. I'm sorry. Toy Story 4... If Here's the thing, and here's why Toy Story 4 is so confusing for me. If I've never seen Toy Story 1, 2, or 3, if I never saw them, if they never existed, Toy Story 4 is up here. Like, easily. If Toy Story 1 through 3 never existed, Toy Story 4 is sitting right there. But because they exist, this is where Toy Story 4 stands. And I could be here for an hour explaining it, so hopefully I won't take that long. But to sum it up, Toy Story 4 was one of the biggest disappointments in their franchise, in my opinion. And it was a delayed reaction. I felt like like somebody punched me, and I didn't feel it until like a couple days later. Because I cried at Toy Story 4, but I remember when I walked out of the theater, after crying, by the way, walked out of the theater, something didn't feel right for me. Like, I understood that I was upset. I understood, but it wasn't like I'm crying, I'm upset, but you know, this is something that needs to happen. This is something that happens for the best. No, I didn't feel that way. And after finally gathering my thoughts, I realized I knew why I didn't feel that way. It was because Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 were a linear, each following the other, and then Toy Story 4 tried to follow, and then it completely betrays what the first 3 films do. Absolutely betrays. Like, you have Woody, who in the first 3 films was never turn your back on a toy. Never turn your back on your owner. They're your owner. And in fact, even in Toy Story 1, how does Toy Story 1 end? Him around Buzz. Like, hey, even when Andy gets older, at least we'll have each other, right? Boom. Toy Story 2. This is the movie that Toy Story 4 tried to course correct, by the way. But Toy Story 2, we already see Woody say, you know what? We already see him challenge that second guessing in his mind of like, you know, Andy is getting older. Maybe he doesn't need me anymore. You know, I am a lost toy. I am one of the only one of my existence. One of the only one, you know, about, you know, I'm the only version of my toy that's left. You know, I should stay. And then they had that big back and forth of Buzz being like, you're the one who taught me that nothing is more important to a toy than his kid. That was the whole point of Toy Story 2. Right? Then you have Toy Story 3, where not only are they accidentally thrown into garbage, but they know it's not real, Woody fights for Andy throughout the entire film because Jesse and everybody else who didn't see what really happened, Woody's the only one who did, thought that Andy just threw them out in the garbage. Woody spent all of Toy Story 3 trying to convince his friends, no, that's not what happened. Andy does love us. Andy doesn't want to not see us anymore. He does want us to come back. He spent the entire movie trying to convince people, almost getting having all the toys get cremated at the end, for them to finally go back to Andy. They have this huge send-off, right? Talk about franchise ending of like a perfect ending, of it being huge, the so long partner, of Woody and Andy having that final connection, right? And then he goes off to Bonnie. And the movie ends with Andy literally giving all his toys to Bonnie and being like, take care of him, okay? You know, take care of them, especially him. Points to Woody. He's my favorite. And then you get Toy Story 4. That, here we go again. Woody's back in Toy Story 2 brain where he's like, oh, well, my owner's not... Which, by the way, Woody literally reverted his character. That is my problem with Toy Story 4. Is Woody literally reverted his character. Woody went from where he was in Toy Story 3 to back to Toy Story 1 again. He became selfish again. Like, he really got mad that Bonnie was playing more with Jessie, who's a part of his same toy line, which so much for the respect there, right? And she even got Woody's sheriff badge, right? She even got to wear it. Good for her. Let her have that. Let her enjoy that. Jessie's finally getting the limelight. Jessie finally has a girl who really cares about her. Oh, but Woody's not the most played with toy anymore. Boo-hoo. When he's already established in Toy Story 1, he doesn't care. That he's fine with just being with his friends. And having the kid play with them only just every now and again. They said he was fine with it. Then he just decides he's gonna move on? Because of Bo? I'm sorry, if this relationship between Woody and Bo was to be any more believable, it would have had to have been built up in the first 3 movies, and it wasn't. It was completely not built up at all. And then they were just like, here's love interest. Now love interest is going to take main character away from the entire franchise, have him turn his back on all his friends, have him turn his back on all his fans, have him turn his back on his owner, both his owners, Bonnie and Andy, because what was Woody thinking? Andy literally basically said in Toy Story 3 that he'd probably eventually come back for the toys at one point. He knows they're there at Bonnie's house. Why? How can Woody still look at his boot and read Andy and know that he's not somewhere where he'll be found by him? I don't get it. I've never liked Toy Story 4 for that. And again, Buzz Lightyear 2 just was turned into an idiot for some reason. I don't get it. Yeah, I could go on and on and on about Toy Story 4, man. I could go on and on and on. Anyways, all right, let's continue. Lightyear. You want to know what's funny about this one? It's a similar case to Toy Story 4, man. It's a very similar case. Because here's the problem, is just like Toy Story 4, where if you hadn't seen the first 3, that's probably a really good movie. Lightyear, if it wasn't based on Buzz Lightyear, would have probably been a really, really good movie. I will say I liked it better than Toy Story 4 because it at least didn't piss me off that much. But it is kind of a nothing movie because it's based on something, but it became nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's based on Buzz Lightyear, but it just became nothing. I don't know if you noticed, nothing came of this. Lightyear got released and then that was it. And you can't tell me that this was the version of Buzz that Woody saw. You can't tell me that. That's just not... And that's not even true canonically, because you do see them literally plugging in the VHS tapes of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command to watch. So, there's that. Bug's Life. Super good. Bug's Life... I mean, come on. This one might even be here. I think yeah. It might even be there. Bug's Life is so good, man. It's like, when you think Pixar, Bug's Life is like, it's the first one that pops into my, like even before Toy Story, Bug's Life pops into my head. You guys want to talk about a great movie? Bug's Life is so good, so iconic, has some of the funniest characters that I think have ever been written in a Pixar film. Like, I forget his name. This little caterpillar guy, their fat caterpillar, has the funniest voice and some of the funniest dialogue that I've ever seen or heard in a Pixar film. Phenomenal movie. And for those because every time I bring up A Bug's Life, everybody also loves to talk about Ants. Ants is also a really good movie. So, no shame to Ants. Love Bug's Life, though. Alright, Cars and Cars 2. Cars 2, well, okay. Cars is great. But I will say, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this too, I didn't really gravitate towards Cars. I think that whatever train everybody got on when Cars came out, I must have been like on my phone and like missed the call to board the train or something. because I didn't mess with Cars, not really. I liked the first one decently enough. I think I've seen it maybe 4 or 5 times over my lifetime. Maybe 4 or 5 times. It's okay. It's a movie about an old racer who these new cars are coming in, and they're faster than him, or they're whatever, or he's got to get his stuff back, and he's got to go and train and practice under some older heads, and kind of get. I like the story. It just, I don't know. I've seen this story. I think my biggest thing with Cars is I've seen the story done before, and I think I've just seen it done better. That doesn't mean it's bad. I just think I've seen better versions of that story. So it's gonna sit at a B for me. Not mid, but not great. It was good. It was a good movie. Cars 2. Oh boy. Cars 2. What was more insulting? Toy Story 4 or Cars 2, huh? Cars 2 was pretty bad. Cars 2 was pretty bad. I mean, because I already didn't like the first Cars. This one, I remember this being very Mater focused. I remember this having a lot of love interest kind of thrown in there, not just kind of for random rhyme or reason. And if I recall, this was kind of like a racing around the world, or with a lot of racers around the world. They were trying to do too much, while at the same time they did nothing. I think it's comfortable. I'm comfortable having it there, to be honest. All right, and Coco. I mean, what else do I have to say about Coco? Phenomenal. One of the biggest inspirations for my cartoon, first of all. Second of all, let me say this. I've only seen Coco in Spanish. Let me preface that, by the way. Coco is a phenomenal film. It's about your dreams. It's about achieving your dreams, while at the same time being face to face with adversity, and still wanting your dreams no matter what. Coco is one of the most inspirational films, I think, of our time. And it's just fabulously done, I think. It's just fabulous. It's a wonderful movie. And it belongs up there in S tier. But yeah, guys, that's the Pixar tier list. We are at almost 30 minutes. And there wasn't much, so we did some chatting. But that's the tier list. I know I went on and on about the Toy Story films. I'm very passionate about them. But guys, that's the tier list. What do you guys think? Agree, disagree? Leave those comments down in the description box down below. Let me know what you guys thought. And for those of the ones that I put and haven't seen, where would you have ranked them in this tier list? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next tier list video. Bye. Thanks so much to Tamil Kent, Split Fries Media, Matty G, 4AUTTP, Brainiac, Beige6410, 20s Brooks, Kingbin _YT, Sakam Bomber 3, that_guy69, Advanced Hell, Ryan Wilkins, The Plush Experience, Kame Senin, and Susan Simone for all becoming members. If you would also like to become a member, on my channel there exists multiple different tier levels, and you can pick out which one is best for you.